Welcome in, Bourbonites. I'm John Bourbon, and as always, I have the news you never knew you needed, but now you know you want. So how you guys doing? I hope everyone's doing great. Hope everyone's having a great time. Hope everyone having a great beginning to the weekend. And this is a first for old Johnny. We have some excellent guests this time from all the way on the underside of the globe, representing our Kiwi friends and our Aussie friends, the Down Under Cruisers. But not yet. We'll get to them in a second. We have some other stuff we've got to take care of. So, first off, let's get into the chat. Let's see who all's here. We've got Meg, the mod of all mods. We have the Gaylors. Welcome in. Good to see you. Kelly and Tammy's Journey. Welcome in. Welcome in. Rob from Cruising on the High Seas. Yo, yo, yo. It's Eddie Lugo. We've also got Mr. James Cantonese. Welcome in, friend. Who else we got? We've got those Clocks from Clock Family Adventures. Welcome. Oh, who else we got here? We've got the wonderful, the beautiful Miss Chastity from the Moonlight Adventures. And you know what? She's my bartender tonight. Yeah. Old Johnny's getting away from the bourbon and going to the rum. Yeah. It's good stuff right there. Okay. Who else we got down here? We've got Miss Antoinette. Hey, friend. Welcome in and good to see you. We have this robot in the chat known as Stream Elements. Welcome in, Mr. Robot. Please do not take over my mind. We have Will G. Welcome in, sir. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in while you can. Here is the guy that Sir Josh calls Double to the A, Ron Smith. Welcome in. We've got the Fearless Rambler. All right, so welcome in, guys. I'm sure more will come in as we go, but we're going to go ahead. Oh, and of course, there's Miss Marcia from CME Traveling and Danny Griswold from Griswold Family Vacay. Welcome in. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the news. One little bit of admin here, and old Johnny, he gets excited. He gets ahead of himself sometimes. If you have questions for me, or if you have questions for the Down Under Cruisers about Helping Hands for Cruising or about their channel, just put 3 Qs into the chat. That will let me know that you have a question. I'll mark it, and we will get to it. All right? So please do that for me if you would. We're on a shoestring budget over here, and it's just old Johnny. All right, so what we want to do, we want to get into some milestones that some of these awesome channels have hit, because old Johnny did this so we could bring that YouTube creator news that you all know that you need and you want now. So to begin with, we've got the Sandvan, who's also a member of that Aussie crew down there. He hit 1,000. He and his wife, they hit 1,000 subscribers on their channel. The Hitchhiking Bones, an outstanding Disney channel, they hit 800 subscribers. We also have Eddie Lugo Studios, yo to the yo to the yo, yo, yo. He hit 700 subscribers. Fantastic job. J&S Adventures, Jeremy and Cheryl hit 600 subscribers. We also have CME Traveling coming in at 600 subscribers. The Naughty Cruiser, Mr. Mike. He looks a lot like me, even though I think I'm a little better looking, but he's a handsome devil. Yes, he is. He hit 600 subscribers as well. The Z Show, he hit 200 subscribers. And Helping Hands for Cruising, they hit 130 subscribers. And I'd like to challenge all of the Moonlight Mafia and all the Bourbonites out there to go like and subscribe, not only to the Down Under Cruisers, but also to Helping Hands for Cruising. That way they can get monetized and support this great organization through the YouTube channel. All right. Also, I have to talk about our sponsors. Our sponsor for today is popl. If you don't have popl, go on over there and use the discount code to get 30% off Josh Moon. It's free to join popl, and it is a great thing to use. The Moonlight Adventures uses them. They use a card that has the QR code here, but you can also see down below, this is one of those gimmicks that Mike Lovelace likes to talk about. It is NFC enabled as well. So you can just hand this to someone. They can put their phone right there. And when they do that, it will pop up with the links to everything that you have with your social media and your channel. So go on over there and check out popl. Also, I'd like to bring up the fact that Kenny, the Ford man, has started a new channel. He has started a new channel. It's a daily Bible reading and study. I cannot remember. I haven't done the best of homework on this. It's new and it just came out. But if you would please, one of the mods, drop that into the link. That way everyone can go over and like and subscribe to Kenny's new channel. All right. So without further ado, these guys are awesome. They do a lot of great work. They bring a lot of smiles to a lot of faces. We want to find out what they're doing, and we want to give them our support. Sean and Alana from the Down Under Cruisers and Helping Hands for Cruising.
G'day, JB.
G'day, JB.
Good eye. Good
G'day,
eye.
mate.
How the heck are you,
Mate.
How you doing?
Are we mates already?
We were mates when we first connected, mate.
Oh, wow. Johnny off the top rope. So you got anything good to drink over there, friends?
Oh, yeah, mate.
As long as it's not Foster's.
In the sexy bald guy mode.
Oh,
That belongs to someone else, by the way.
You are a sexy bald guy. You really married up over there, sir.
Boy, did I ever.
Yes,
Do you need your glasses
did.
checked?
She's way above my pay grade.
Cheers, my friends. Cheers, mates. Cheers.
She's sorry, but I haven't got it.
So how have things been going with you? I know that down under, you have great weather. Up here, it's a little chilly.
Yes.
Yeah, we're sitting on 24 degrees.
It's croc wrestling season. Fantastic.
Excuse me, mate, but how do you sit on a temperature?
With great difficulty.
Well, yeah, it's hot stuff down there.
That's what she said. Anyway, sir, could you please pull the mic closer to the mouth?
Sure.
Oh, very nice. Okay, that was the first question in the chat. Okay, so I want to get into this. So if you would, Sean, Alana, it's up to you who takes this, but tell us a little bit about Helping Hands for Cruising, what it's all about.
Are you handing it to me? Okay. Helping Hands for Cruising is a charity that we started probably, 18 months ago. We realized how addictive cruising is and how lucky we are and you all out there who are able to cruise and being privileged to have been on cruises and enjoying it. So we thought, what about giving that pleasure to other people who are not so lucky? So as we were heading towards our group cruise, Sean thought about someone deserving in our community to start with, and that was Kenny, aka Ford Man. So we had some fundraisers and raised enough money to send Kenny on the group cruise with us all. And it sort of snowballed from there. And we thought, well, other people can continue doing that as well. So we're got a YouTube channel now and a Facebook group, and we've got a PayPal account. People can always pop in donations. Everything donated goes directly to paying for cruises, just to make that clear. It's all above board. It's all transparent. And we're spreading our wings and moving forward. Thanks to everybody who's put their hand in their pocket. Appreciate it.
Outstanding. When they stuck their hands in their pockets, did they pull out a budgie smuggler? Ha!
Well,
No, mate, they pulled out the budgie.
They pulled out the budgie. So is the budgie Never mind. I won't ask about the budgie.
I don't think the budgie would be alive by the time it was pulled out of someone's pocket.
Sean, I would be amiss, but you have a wonderful voice and it carries very well, but I think your mic's turned off, sir.
Oh no, we had that trouble with my mic last week. I'm usually the one who can't be heard.
It was
Well,
working.
it's okay. We got time.
How about now?
That's better.
Good.
Alana sounds much better, though. Of course, that's par for the course.
Thank you.
Of course. I'd always give it to the boss.
All right. Hey, so, one of the things that I've noticed looking at the Helping Hands for Cruising channel, you need more subscribers. I mean, you're at 130 right now. And,
131.
131. Fantastic. We'd like to try and move that up, but, what is that channel about? That way, these folks in the chat, and they're going to see this on the replay, what can you tell them about your channel that make them want to subscribe?
So basically the channel has video of important people like John and Chastity. Sorry, JB, but we're trying to get you there. Josh and Chastity talking about why they're supporting the Helping Hands for Cruising. Anybody who was with us on our group cruise, and we're putting out videos weekly from that channel about why they support the channel. Also, it's about the recipients themselves having a say about why they like Helping Hands. And it's just as we progress, it's about us bringing in more people that have some sort of disability or whatever, that they have the experiences that they've had on board the cruises. So that's essentially what the channel is all about. And by the way, we do have a website as well. It's Helping Hands, 4 cruising .org. Helping Hands for Cruising.org.
That number 4 is very important when you're searching for these guys on the YouTube or when you're searching for these guys on the worldwide interwebs. There are a few that have similar names, and if you add that numeral 4 in there, it makes it real easy.
Yeah.
So, one thing, and I was thinking about this, and I didn't write this down as a question, but it just comes up naturally in what you're saying here. So, for the channel, for Helping Hands for Cruising, what can cruise creators do for you to help the channel?
Can I just say, there are some amazing channels out there, particularly people who travel, say in wheelchairs or are blind. We'd appreciate them putting forward some content our way, even as ahead to camera, talking about, yes, it's possible. That would be really helpful to show that it's not just for what we so-called able-bodied people. That would be a great start. How you travel, how easy it is, etc., and what pleasure you get out of it.
That's great. And as before I came in here, when Josh was kind of schooling me up on what I needed to talk about, he said that there's and the Moonlight Adventures has already taken part in this, and they plan to continue to do this, but donating content, donating shorts, donating whatever they can to promote the channel and bring content that folks would revisit Helping Hands for Cruising and potentially get you to monetization. Because would monetization help the Helping Hands for Cruising effort?
Absolutely.
It would be huge, because we want it to be self-sustaining. That would be, that is our goal in that there.
And at the
Be
end
amazing.
of the day, every dollar that goes back into the channel goes back into putting somebody else on a cruise. For example, we've got a cruise happening in 64 days. It is the fantastic cruising group cruise going out of Tampa and going to West Caribbean, I believe. that particular cruise will have 2 lots of recipients on board. So we're growing. And in fact, in our live stream a little later on today, we'll be interviewing one of those recipients. So it'll be a great opportunity. I won't tell you who it is. You'll just have to come and watch the show to find out. But at the end of the day, the goal is we want to get as many people on board a cruise ship as possible.
All right. So I'd like to get into the nuts and bolts of the organization. So if you would, tell us who's on the board.
So firstly, on the board is yours truly, Ilana and I. There's also Donovan from RV on the Wayside and his wife Jody. We've got Dewey Ski, the moderator extraordinaire Meg. We've got Lorraine DeVoe from
Traveling with Special Abilities.
We've got Ron Sees America, Crystal from Destinations Delight, and
Matt and Kimbra
from
Fantastic Cruising.
That's it.
A virtual United Nations of board members.
Absolutely.
That's it. Got a great crew on board.
And I know that there are some others like Glenn. He's from the UK. That's a supporter as well. It's pretty amazing the worldwide support that you get for this effort.
Absolutely.
Yet
not only do we have
we've got to get more subs. We've got to get more subs.
Absolutely. Not only do we have people like Glenn and Sarah who are supporters of Helping Hands, but we've also got people like Plum Travelers, Larry Giroux. We've got Call Me V. They're all supporters of the channel. For me to go and list all the supporters, we'd be here all night. And I know that JB needs his beauty sleep because Josh told me be nice.
I've got to look good for Peggy soon because I plan on taking her off of GW's hands. Ah!
Oh, Gunnar Wayne, you better watch out.
She deserves better. I'm better. Ah! Okay. Next. So you talked a little bit about this, but how many recipients do you have so far? And a follow on to that, how many recipients do you plan on having by the end of this this calendar year that we're in?
Okay, well, at the moment we've got, we've had our inaugural. So that was Kenny. So that was one so far. We have two couples. So 4 more people will be enjoying a cruise in March. And beyond that, we are always on the lookout for people to come forward and nominate people.
What we would like to see, if that's at all possible, is a cruise a month. If we can get that happening, we would be really excited. Now, the issue we've got right now is A, funds, B, hosting channels.
Just to be clear again, we don't just send people because the condition is that you have never cruised before. This is your first cruise. So it's cruise virgins coming on. So we don't just send them off by themselves. I don't think that's fair to them. So we need host people who are willing to step up and when they're on a cruise, offer to host these people and help them along the way and support them throughout the cruise.
And that's a good point, Alana. It's not just the sailing and the booking for the sailing, which is a challenge in itself. But after you have the recipient booked, it's Helping Hands for Cruising. I know in the past has tried to get some OBC up. Now, would you explain how that works? Because the OBC is separate from the main fund.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've been looking to do at this point is set up a different stream where people can actually hold the funds. The issue that we've got with Helping Hands is transparency. So when money comes in, we want people to know where that money's going. And so the main PayPal channel, the main PayPal account is basically established so that we can get people on cruises. What we're now looking to do is anybody who is a recipient, we quite happily support them in terms of getting more OBC through whatever means, but we would request that they actually set up their own PayPal account that is separate to Helping Hands so that we can then get those funds into there, and then we can then utilize that as their onboard credit. The issue we've had before is the confusion because people don't actually jot down who that money was for or what its intention is. And so there was confusion about funds going into the Helping Hands for Cruising PayPal account. And we didn't want to use that as general revenue. We knew that money was specifically designed for people like Kenny. So that was our big challenge.
Yeah, people can donate and say, I want this to be so-and-so's spending money, pop it onto their onboard account.
Very good. And I will not let the cat out of the bag. PETA, I'm sorry that I said that because I know you get angry when we talk about putting kittens in bags. And John would never do that.
No.
But the proverbial cat in the bag, when it gets let out, we'll talk about who needs OBC. But what we do know right now is that Mr. James Cantonese is the next recipient. That cat's been let out of the bag already. So if you'd like to hit up that PayPal link and just put for James Cantonese, that will start funding his OBC. Did I say anything wrong there, guys?
Absolutely not. Thank you.
We love that.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Old John doesn't know how a lot of these things work. He just reads the prompter.
I'd have to talk to Josh.
You read very well.
Thank you. That wasn't on the prompter. Okay.
What you ad-lib to?
They get scared when old Johnny goes off script.
Oh dear. It gets dangerous, does it?
A few more of these and there's no telling how far off script I'll go.
You should see what Josh is busy saying in the side chat that I've got here.
Okay. So Kenny was the first recipient. And I've saw videos, I've saw pictures. It looked like a fantastic time. But before we talk about that trip, Sean, I need to know, define the term budgie smuggler.
You'd have to be wearing them, mate.
The people want to know.
Well, they need to just wear them.
Okay. You know what Speedos are?
Don't give it away.
Yes. That's what I prefer to wear on the cruise.
Well, then you wear budgie smugglers. The smaller, the better. Ooh.
Oh.
And just
so
sort
my
of
budgie be smuggling, eh? Ah!
Create just a mental picture of what it looks like. And there you have a budgie smuggler.
I call mine a banana hammock.
Well, they...
Can you actually peel the skin off? Oh, sorry.
Oh.
For some, it could be a bunch.
Pegasus could do that for me. Ha! Okay, we've went downhill. So let's talk about the first sailing, which was on board the Carnival Horizon.
Yes.
How many days? Where did you stop? And what were the special moments and events?
Okay, well, we had a Down Unders and Us and More group cruise, and Kenny came along for that. It was on the Carnival Horizon out of Miami, and for us it was pretty special too, because it was our first trip to the States together, and our first cruise on Carnival. So that was a bit of an eye-opener times two, the States and Carnival. And meeting fantastic people. Many of them are in the chat too. Some channels there I can see. Blaine and Danny. Meg, we met. Lots of fantastic people. So yes, it was to the I'm rambling on. Southern Caribbean. Southern? Was that our direction?
Yeah.
Southern Caribbean for 8 days, 8 fabulous days. Out of Miami, going to Aruba, baby, La Romana, Bonaire, which we loved, and Kenny had a highlight moment there. and Amber Cove. And can I say for Kenny, this is a mind blower for us. This is someone who has never seen the ocean before.
Wow.
And in Bonaire, we hired golf carts, and he came along and he actually went onto the sand and the beach. So he experienced his first beach.
Good for Kenny.
CH, not.
So, one thing that Josh told me before I came in here, that he wanted to make sure that he got across to the people, and excuse me, that what cruising and traveling the world does for a person. So there's a whole lot of different organizations out there that does a lot of different things. But for someone who's confined to a specific ability or capability or lack thereof, this opens up their aperture for the things that could be. And when you talk about someone who's never even seen the ocean before, and now he goes sailing on it, imagine that. That's the opportunity that you are giving these folks. And Josh said to let you guys know that was probably one of the biggest things that impacted him traveling the world as a soldier, was opening up his eyes, not only to how good that you have it in our countries that are free, but also how good you could have it. And it gives you a greater appreciation for things.
Agreed. And one of the things that we were noticing as well was, not only was it enlightening for the person who was the recipient, but all of us who served that recipient changed our lives as well. So that it works both ways. It's a phenomenal experience all the way around.
Because we saw what was possible, and we saw the enjoyment, the amazement, the wonderment from Kenny, and it radiated.
I'll tell you, there's nothing better than helping someone, whether it be altruistic or not. Because when you do that, the positivity that comes back to you is healthy and good for your mental health. But when you get around someone like young Kenneth, and he has every reason in the world to be negative, but he starts his day off more positive than you, that's amazing. That's amazing. And his light shines bright, and so do you guys. So do you guys, for that matter.
Thank you. Can we just say that we're not just confining it to people with physical, I hate to use the word disabilities, special abilities. We are also aiming at people who maybe for years have been caring for somebody and have not are not able to have taken any holidays or anything because they've been busy looking after someone else. So that's the sort of people also we're aiming for as well. People
who have limitations.
Whether
they be physical, financial,
mentally, emotionally, yep.
Amen.
Circumstances.
Amen.
Yep.
And limitation's not a bad word.
No,
Johnny
I like that
is limited in going out into public because inevitably he has to beat the women off with a stick. Ha!
Oh, what a problem to have, honestly.
Now, hang on a second,
it's tough, but it's one that I live with. I'm sure Sean understands.
Yeah, absolutely. But JB, I've got to say to you, Miss Peggy Sue would be the one that would be stopping you.
I'm after her. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I am after her. She deserves better. And again, better is me. Okay. So what was the shining moment during young Kenneth's sailing? What was that cherry on top moment?
Oh gosh,
the 80s night.
Yeah, I think so. The 80s deck party, surrounded by fabulous music, everybody out there just watching him enjoy himself, and he was sort of having a little bit of a bop himself, and yeah,
getting into it.
Really,
it was awesome.
So let me ask you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Especially when he had those photos with those special young ladies.
I saw some pictures of him where he may have partied too hard during the 80s party.
Oh, he did.
What happens on the cruise stays on the cruise.
Exactly.
He took a nice high seas nap. So
No, we're not starting any rumors. No.
Why not?
did you have to sign an NDA with young Kenneth?
Kenny made us sign the NDA.
So during those times, right? And I've spoken with Crystal from Destinations Delight, and this is one of those moments in her life that she's going to put away and go to when she needs it. In other words, if she's down, she's going to go here, you know, and just thinking about it all the time, right? So if you could, how have you been affected because of young Kenneth's trip? What was it that you take with you and put in your pocket and go, wow, you know, today sucks, but you know what? I've got this little guy over here I'm going to remember about.
I just look at it and say, take nothing for granted.
That's right. It could all go away in an instant.
Correct. Enjoy every moment you have and
Say,
make the most of it.
Let me say, we had, not only did we have Kenneth on board, but we also had Deb Wright, who was on board. And Deb Wright is sight affected. She has a beautiful seeing eye dog, and just assisting them and just watching her go about her daily routine was just absolutely mind-blowing as well. So from a point of spending time with Kenny, but also the spending time with other people who were in similar boats, it was absolutely amazing. The whole cruise was a mind-blower for me.
And knowing that Deb has sailed many, many times, so it's possible. You can do it.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And it goes to the fact that you see folks traveling sometimes and you know, so having blindness as your special ability, you would think, well, why is that person cruising? Why is that person doing this or that? Well, you don't understand. You don't understand what they go through on a daily basis and how they experience things. And I can tell you with Deb, her life lights up when she's on a cruise ship.
Yep.
And you see it with other people with special abilities that may have a learning disability or maybe a mental disability that you see them when they're sailing, and it's like they get back to this place that centers them and makes them happy, and it's just fantastic. It's just, and that's what you're giving to through Helping Hands for Cruising.
Absolutely.
And again,
a whole wide world out there.
It is. It's amazing, and the open sea and the ocean, and it makes you feel so much better, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you have limitations or not.
Absolutely, just fills you with endorphins, and that just make you feel fantastic.
You got to love that sea air.
Oh, nothing better.
So, what are the goals for Helping Hands for Cruising?
We just want to grow.
Main goal is we'd like to get to a point where we've got a cruise a month coming out of every continent, and also being self-sufficient, as well as effectively being able to put somebody on a ship anywhere around the world.
Amen. Those are some good goals, some lofty goals. And again, help these guys out. They need it. As soon as they can get monetized on their channel, and as soon as they have a regular steady stream coming in, the more good they can do. And I can tell you, Josh talks a lot to these folks. He talks to them all the time. Their heart and minds are in the right place. You're not going to find anyone better to carry this mail and to deliver this mail to the people who deserve it.
Thank you.
So what are your upcoming events? What do you got coming up? What's next?
So there will be a cruiseathon happening in February. The exact date I can't remember right now, but that will be to raise more funds for the Helping Hands for Cruising charity. Our goal is, if we can raise 10 grand on that particular cruiseathon, it would be absolutely amazing. We followed that in 64 days. We'll be having our Helping Hands for Cruising group cruise, which is actually the Fantastic Cruising group cruise, which will be awesome.
And the more the merrier on that one. Can I just give a plug to Kimbra, please? She's the travel agent and the host of the group cruise. If anyone would like to join that cruise in March, going on the Carnival Pride out of Tampa, please see
I need to
Kimbra.
talk to my bosses. That sounds like a trip that John Bourbon needs to cover.
I'd say so. Hey.
JB, let me say this, buddy. See if you can do it without Josh and Chastity. See if you can do it.
Oh, wonder if I could bring Pegasus. Ha!
Oh.
You know what goes on a cruise stays on a cruise, mate.
So what else you got coming up? So we've got our first. Could you explain to me what is a cruiseathon? Because that sounds very interesting. I would love to go on a cruiseathon. Ha!
Well, you never know, JB. You might just be standing there as a host on a cruiseathon. So basically, what the cruiseathon is a group of channels that are hosting their shows, and the purpose of those shows is to raise funds which go to a common cause, and that's what Helping Hands for Cruising is having on their cruiseathon.
Excellent. So it's kind of like back in the day when Jerry Lewis would come on and try to raise money.
Yep.
Correct.
Fundraising.
We can't get Jerry. I've tried, but we can't get him.
That sounds fantastic. So again, calling out to all creators. If you can support in the cruiseathon, that would be fantastic. Indeed. And if they wanted to support during cruiseathon, how would they do that?
So a couple of ways you could support. You could host the show, or you could just pour your nice hard-earned dollars into the PayPal account that would be taking care of the cruise.
And spread the word further outside the community too, because that's where we're looking for recipients.
Any other events that you have coming up other than cruiseathon?
Other than that is the group cruise, and I know that some channels are busy doing some, organizing some things on their own, but we're not exactly 100% certain what those are as yet. That's TBA, to be advised.
So, Sean, tell me about that. If a channel wanted to help you guys out in some way, shape, or form outside of the Helping Hands for Cruising channel or website, how could they do that?
So, channel puts forward an idea to the Helping Hands for Cruising board, whether it be in a we'd ask that you create a small video that would promote your particular event that you want to put forward. You go ahead and give us the dates of the time that you would like to put it forward. The board will have a quick discussion about it and most definitely approve it. And then from then on, we'll push every possible angle to assist you guys in running your event. And then that monies that you so generously put together, we'd ask you please to donate that into the Helping Hands for Cruising PayPal account.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And you can always, if you have questions, everyone knows Meg. Reach out to Meg. Reach out to Sean or Alana. They have, as I said before, they have a website. They also have the channel. They also have a Facebook page. So down under Cruisers or Helping Hands for Cruising, they'll respond. I know.
Correct.
All right. So I'm going to go to the chat. We have a few questions here in the chat. And if you would like to ask a question in the chat, again, just throw up the 3 Qs. All right. So the Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla, they're just simply asking, how is everyone this fine Friday night? Old Johnny's always doing great, especially when Miss Chastity is making some fine, fine drinks.
I hope her husband Josh knows about that.
We try to keep it on the DL. DL stands for down low.
I would have made it on the DU, actually.
Down under.
Down under.
Can I just say, it's not Friday night here. It's actually Saturday morning here.
Chastity is beautiful, and she does have a strong resemblance to Peggy Sue. However, I prefer the fine, the way that Peggy Sue dresses. I just does something to me. It makes me feel all tingly inside.
So one of the benefits of the group cruise is one of the tests that we have is whether or not the males will wear their budgie smugglers and the females will wear their see-through bikinis.
If Johnny B is on that cruise, he'll be wearing a budgie smuggler, friend.
No doubt.
Just so you know, Johnny B, he goes all natural, baby.
Well, there you go. Now, that would make it worth it.
Absolutely worth it.
That would be a sight to behold.
I wonder how much people would pay in terms of a donation to Helping Hands
Now,
to actually watch JB.
There you, now, there's something.
There's an idea.
Yes, a thought. What would that be
JB's
worth?
down for anything. Okay,
Ooh,
you give
really?
him enough. You give him enough bourbon, he's down for it. So the bill
Okay.
draft. I think you know these folks, Sean. They said, Sean, I think there's water down here in the bottom of the boat. Can you come and check?
Troy, I had a look down there, and I tell you what, it's almost as bad as Mike's basement. So, yeah.
Kelly and Tammy's journey. They want to know, when is y'all's next cruise? I think you know. I think we know that, maybe. We know when the next Helping Hands for Cruising cruise is. We've talked about that. But personally, when is your next cruise?
In March.
Ours is also in
We're-
March. We're doing a short cruise from Melbourne to Sydney via a place called Eden. And that's running just after the group cruise gets back.
That's right, on the Grand Princess.
Amazing. The Grand Princess. Was
Yeah.
that the one that the Love Boat was filmed on? I think that was the Royal Princess, I believe.
Which, the original Love Boat or the game show?
The
whatever you
real
call it.
Love Boat. The game
That
show.
was the Pacific. That was actually originally the Little Pacific Princess,
Oh,
which is no longer in action.
wow. Okay. So here's a question that maybe Sean is willing to answer, but Alana, you can plead the fifth if you'd like.
Okay.
Rob from Cruising on the High Seas would like to know how old the ducks are.
Oh my God! Okay. I'd like to say 21, but I've been 21. I'm quite proud to say how old I am. I've been 21 3 times over now.
Atta girl.
And I'm 61.
You could have said 21 and gotten away with it.
No, I'm doesn't bother me.
Mr. Budgie Smuggler, what is your age?
61.
And how old is the rabbi?
Oh,
Oh, we have to go and
gosh,
ask
no,
him.
no.
Do we actually know?
Rabbi-
We've never asked him that. Rabbis don't like
Reb
being
Yossel-
asked
Reb Yossel said that he's 150.
in biblical
Wow.
terms.
A lot of blessings on that man.
Oh, boy, is there ever. And you know, oh, gosh. The number of kids, no, sorry, that's,
Well, he is a rabbi.
yeah, he is a rabbi.
There'd be at least 22 of them.
Rabbi means father.
Teacher, actually.
Teacher. That's
Yep.
correct.
Yep.
Okay, Kelly and Tammy. I believe maybe they were asking both of us, but Johnny B is actually drinking rum tonight. Rum and Coke.
Mm.
Figured since we were talking cruising, I would go with the Pirates Brew.
Yep.
What's
Also,
y'all's poison of choice?
Coffee. I did discover on the horizon margaritas, so I've fallen in love with margaritas. Actually,
It's pretty early down under, huh?
I'm not. Yeah, well, not drinking one right now, but I do like coffee.
I'll drink whatever anybody pays for.
Johnny loves coffee as well, and I'm down with what you're saying over there, sir. I'll drink whatever anybody's buying me. If we're ever sailing together, I'm going to buy you something. You got to drink it, though.
Likewise.
Got a comment here from Mark McClure of the Cruise World. I think they'd pay more not to see JB in his budgie smugglers. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Maybe we can get Mark McClure in his budgie smugglers.
Maybe Mark needs to see JB in his budgie smuggler before he makes that determination. Just saying.
True.
Just saying.
As long as people stay tuned. That's the main thing.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Correct.
Could we see Johnny Bourbon in a budgie smuggler for Cruisathon? The people want to know.
The people will speak.
Magic number? What is the magic number? I'll tell you what, Johnny B will don the budgie smuggler during Helping Hands for Cruising Cruisathon. Once, I will let you name the number. I will let Helping Hands for Cruising name the number. What is the magic number that budgie smugglers go on?
$500.
$500. And Johnny B will don the budgie smuggler. $500.
Woohoo!
So,
Okay.
what kind of budgie smugglers are we talking about? Are we talking about leopard print, cheetah skin?
Your choice.
Pineapples, whatever you like.
Your choice.
Would you like me to go with a a la Borat, over the shoulders?
Now that would be a sight to see.
I'll tell you what.
I'm looking for matchsticks to poke my eyes out, but anyway, sorry.
I'll let Pegasus do the picking. She'll always make Johnny look good.
Cool.
Okay, enough of that. Now, the last question, and maybe the most important. How can the people help? What can the people do to help? I think we've covered this 100 times, but we want to keep saying it for the people that are coming in or maybe on Team Replay. Once again, how can the people help now and in the future?
Folks, just donate to Helping Hands for Cruising. We want to see the likes of Kenny's, the likes of James Catanese and his wife Cindy, the likes of Scott and Amber Hicks. We'd like to see more of those kind of people going on a cruise ship. So please, just donate, empty your pockets.
It doesn't have to be a huge amount. Whatever you can afford, honestly, a couple of dollars. If everybody put a couple of dollars in, would be happy.
If you were like me, a caffeine addict, and you drank 16 cups of coffee a day, why don't you just drink 1 cup and put that $3 or $4 into the Helping Hands for Cruising per day, Helping Hands for Cruising PayPal account, so that we can get some other person on board a cruise ship and let them enjoy what you guys have come to experience.
The cost of a cocktail or a drink on board. How's that?
Yeah, if you got to put it in those terms, right? So number one, how much does a booking cost? And then number two, what can you do to make that sailing better? How, you know what? I'm going to donate $100 because I want that person that's going on the next sailing to be able to go on an excursion. Think of it that way when you're donating during Helping Hands for Cruisathon, or when you're donating to Cruisathon. Michigan Carol, she says, do you have PayPal?
Yes.
Meg,
in our channel or our Facebook, there is a link and there's a QR code. Yes, takes you directly there.
Perfect. Okay, next question. This is for the Down Under cruisers who are representing Helping Hands for Cruising. Sean and Alana, when is the best time to cruise down underland?
Anytime, right now. But the extremely best time, the most important best time, is January 2025.
Why is that, Sean?
We're having a group cruise.
I've been told that the Moonlight Adventures may be on that sailing.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Our aim is that we want people to come down for the Sydney New Year's Eve fireworks and then hop on a cruise. We're aiming for the South Pacific, Fiji, Vanuatu, New Caledonia, beautiful scuba and snorkeling in those destinations, and enjoy that 12 to 14 day cruise.
Fantastic.
January 2025.
Well, guys,
but a good time. February is a nice month to travel here. In all seriousness, it's not super hot. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's only about 38 degrees. It's not super hot.
It's
the weather's a little bit more stable.
Time there, correct?
Yeah,
right now
it's summer now.
Summer.
Yep.
Okay. But
But
early
March
summer.
is still beautiful.
Early summer. Cool. Cruise World, do you already have a ship selected in January of 2025?
We're waiting on all the ships to put out their
They're-
itineraries before we make a decision.
Yep. So we're not sure at the moment. We need to check out January, apparently mid to late January, all the 24-25 itineraries will be out. And we'll put out a few ideas and see what the consensus is and take it from there.
It's going to be a great time. And the
It'll be fun.
rabbi, I'm sure, will be available for anyone who would like to, renew their wedding vows or anything.
Circumcisions, bar mitzvahs, wedding vows. He's available.
Get to break the cup, eh?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, hey guys, I greatly appreciate it. This was Johnny B's first international interview. Wow.
It worked well.
Check me out. Yeah.
Fantastic. We're honored.
Thank you guys so much for coming on board. Again, help these folks out. They have a great organization. They are great folks. Can't say enough about them. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, and I'm going to close this thing out. But again, thank you so much. One last parting shot, 10 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time. They'll be going live, the Down Under Cruisers. Go check them out. They have a great show. It'll be a good time. You won't regret it. Thank you guys so much. Have a good evening.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you
Have a
so
good
much.
day for you
Appreciate it.
guys.
Hi,
Good
all.
night.
Bye, all. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So there it is. If you can in any way help out Helping Hands for Cruising, please do so. We've been running it. It's been up on the screen. Miss Meg or anyone can help you out with information. Go over there, like and subscribe to the Helping Hands for Cruising channel. One of the things that has been talked about with me and Josh is the contribution of content to the Helping Hands for Cruising channel. Even if it's just a short, anything that can be donated to Sean, and you can reach out to him through Instant Messenger. You can email him, whatever you'd like. If you have some content you'd like to donate that content over to him. He's more than happy to give you credit if that's what you want. If not, that's fine too. But we'll upload that to the Helping Hands for Cruising channel and hopefully build their subscriber base and try to get them to monetization. That way, that's another revenue stream they have to support this great organization that they have started. Thank you guys so much for coming on here and checking this out. It makes old Johnny B just feel all warm inside. I don't know if that's from the rum or from the people in the chat, but we thank you either way. Also, the Moonlight Adventures, they will be shooting the breeze this Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. World Wrestling Vlog will be on tomorrow night with that jabroni, Captain Billy J, and the voice that would melt cold butter, Paul Vines, as well as the Sarge, Dylan Moon, tomorrow night at 10:30. The Moonlight Adventures also have a lot of vlogs coming out from the Great Wolf Lodge, as well as some vlogs from Perfect Day at Coco K. Tune in, check them out. Johnny Bourbon, we out, baby. We out.